Hello and welcome back to my Austrian adventure, although now we've crossed the border. We are back in Germany because tomorrow I hand back this beautiful Dethleffs Trend i7057 DBL. So I am in the Allgäu region of Germany, as Dethleffs is in the town of Isny in Allgäu. And for my last night, I'm at a campsite. I'm at Waldbad camping Isny. And the reason for that is, of course, I want to be close to Dethleffs to hand back the motorhome tomorrow, and I need all the facilities to get everything ready and have a shower here and everything so I can get the motorhome nice and clean. And I thought this would be a great opportunity for a video to chat to you about the differences between the ways you can go touring, especially in peak season, and the differences between a campsite and a Stellplatz, or an Aire as they're more commonly called, as they're more popular in France. Campsite is, well, you know what a campsite is, and an Aire or a Stellplatz is a motorhome specific parking area. So what we will do is we will go back to Austria, to SportCamp Woferlgut. I'll show you around SportCamp Woferlgut, and we'll talk about the advantages and some of the disadvantages of a campsite when you're on a motorhome tour. And then we will head to an Aire here in Germany, or a Stellplatz in the town of Wangen im Allgäu, and we'll talk about the advantages and disadvantages of an Aire or a Stellplatz, so you can make your own mind up which style of touring suits you. As we enjoy a look around SportCamp Woferlgut, I'd like to start off by saying that do remember you can get terrible campsites and great Stellplatz, and vice versa. To try and ensure getting a decent campsite, I found my sites through the Alan Rogers travel service. I'll talk about that later, as these are all inspected and of a high standard. The ability to book is a huge advantage of a campsite. We had to be in this area at this time, so the reassurance of having a booked pitch removed the pressure and worry of hoping to find a Stellplatz with space, as generally you can't book a Stellplatz. You can stay longer at a campsite. Many Stellplatz are limited to a stay of just 2 or 3 days. As you can see, SportCamp Woferlgut is pleasantly landscaped and in a beautiful setting. A campsite will have staff on site to help you with any problem you might have, any questions, or to intervene in the unlikely event of antisocial behaviour on site. Staff on site, as well as fences and barriers, also mean that campsites are generally more secure. What sets campsites apart are their facilities. SportCamp Woferlgut has a beautiful outdoor swimming lake, a state-of-the-art indoor swimming complex, although this carried a painful €18 admission fee, a pleasant cafe and restaurant, kids' activities, and of course showers and toilets. In a Stellplatz there are normally no facilities, although you might strike lucky and find public toilets or a sports centre nearby. SportCamp Woferlgut is very family friendly, with lots to do for children of all ages. Stellplatz tend to attract mostly adults. From SportCamp Woferlgut, it's a 15-minute walk to the railway station, where you can get trains to Zell am See and to Salzburg. Before we leave SportCamp Woferlgut, let's take a last look around and notice the biggest difference between a campsite and a Stellplatz, and that is that campsites are generally pretty and inviting, whereas a Stellplatz or Aire generally has all the charm and allure of a municipal car park. Now we drive to the town of Wangen im Allgäu, where a brand new state-of-the-art Stellplatz has just opened.
Stellplatz are normally provided by the local council as a service to both motorhomers and to the businesses in the areas they serve. In Wangen, I paid €15 per night, which was less than half the pitch fee of SportCamp Woferlgut. But even this can be considered expensive for a Stellplatz, and sometimes they're even free. Wangen had a barrier that was locked between 10 p.m. and 6 a.m, but you can turn up and leave at any time outside those hours. Best of all, if you turn up at 6 p.m, you have until 6 p.m. the next day before you must leave, or buy a second night. Most campsites will require you to check out by midday. While they generally don't have an amenity block, most Stellplatz will have a fresh water supply, although this is often chargeable, and somewhere to empty the grey waste and toilet. You'll often find a Stellplatz near the town centre. They are provided to encourage you to patronise local businesses after all, so can often be in a great location. And if you're very lucky, you might just turn up on a night when there is a firework display right next door. Obviously they heard we were coming.
So there's just one example of each of a campsite and a Stellplatz. Here we're at another campsite now, as I've said, Waldbad camping Isny, and this is much smaller than SportCamp Woferlgut. It's a bit more intimate, a lot more relaxed, and I have to say a bit quieter as well, even in peak season. So of course, you know, there's all kinds of different campsites and Stellplatz you can experience. Now, for my campsites, because I needed to be in specific places at specific times, I booked those well in advance, and I found them through the Alan Rogers travel service. I will leave a link to both SportCamp Woferlgut and Waldbad camping Isny in the description below this video, and you can check them out and check out the Alan Rogers website, because that is a great resource for finding campsites when you're touring overseas. And then to find the Stellplatz, this particular occasion I used an app on my phone, Park4Night. Another app people use is Camper Contact. But also, if you're a bit more organized, you can get some great books. If you're not into apps, you can get some great books from Vicarious Travel of Folkestone, and they are proper inspected Aires and Stellplatz throughout Europe. So I'll leave a link also to Vicarious Travel in the description below this video. But don't let anybody tell you that if you want to book campsites and just have a traditional camping holiday with your motorhome, don't let anyone tell you that that's not a proper touring holiday. You tour the way you want to tour, and if you want the reassurance of a campsite and a booking and everything around you and all the facilities, then jolly well enjoy having a campsite. If you want the freedom and flexibility and the slight living on the edge of getting to a Stellplatz and hoping there's space, then enjoy the Stellplatz. So I hope you found that interesting, maybe useful. I'd like to say a massive thank you to Dethleffs UK, who have sponsored this vlog without influencing the content, and for the loan of this beautiful Dethleffs Trend i7057 DBL, of which there will be a full review on this channel very soon. So please, if you don't subscribe, do subscribe to the channel, give this video a thumbs up if you've enjoyed it, and it just leaves me to say from Dougal, who's back home in Newest, and from me, thanks for tuning in.
If you'd like to read this information, then do check out my newsletter Streamlining. I'll leave a link in the description below.